Hello everyone, so this is my unboxing video for the brand new 2017-2018 Marantz SR7012 AV receiver. Okay, so for some reason when I was recording my video it decided to cut out on me for whatever reason. So I'm just starting over again. You got the Marantz quick start guide, which is way thinner compared to models over the last several years. The model I have now is the Marantz SR7012. That's a 7-year-old receiver, and the manual is about that thick. Here's your power cable. You have your Odyssey mic for calibration. I'm excited to see and use the new features of Odyssey. I only wish that they would allow you to use a different microphone. Like if you have studio mics, if you own them, it'd be nice if they allowed you to hook those up, because then you get a much more accurate, better reading and response for the Odyssey calibration. Or they should just supply better mics. And then you have your standard accessories, the AM/FM antenna, the Wi-Fi antenna, probably Bluetooth antenna maybe, stickers for your speakers, wiring, which is really cool, batteries, and the remote, which is pretty standard. Looks a little less busy than my previous microphone. Remote. Wow, I can't talk today. And then this is the cardboard tripod for the mic, which I don't need because I have one, but it's cool that they include it for people who don't have one. And then here is the unit itself. Alright, let's take the protective wrap off. It's a good looking receiver for that. So anyways, here's the front of the Marantz SR7012. Very nice design. It's got the black brushed aluminum faceplates, the curved kind of edges that Marantz is known for. Very sleek, simple, uncomplicated design, which I really like. And you've got your input selector. You've got your potentiometer, volume up and down. Power, of course, IR, mini display, which is what Marantz does in their flagship receivers and processors. And then the flap, which has got your traditional size display with all the usual buttons for control. Dynamic EQ, dynamic volume. Not sure what that is. Pure Direct, which is really good for analog music listening, like vinyl, or just for unaltered sound, meaning this doesn't touch the sound at all. That's something I use a lot. Headphone jack, setup mic jack, USB, not sure if that's 2.0 or 3.0. An auxiliary HDMI, which is 4K, and HDCP 2.2. And then an auxiliary video and stereo input. Not sure why they're still putting that on the front, but hey, it's there. And then you've got the usual features that would be seen in a flagship receiver. Spotify, which I'll use occasionally for discovering new music. Denon Hios, which is their wireless multi-room music system. Probably won't use that because I'm not a fan of wireless music. And then its features. It supports Dolby Atmos processing, DTS:X, and RO3D, which is exciting because before in the past you would have to pay, I think, $200 on last year's model to get that. So if this is correct, then it already has it inside. Supports high-res audio from like FLAC files, which I use. I have a lot of, and DSD, which is really awesome too. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, AirPlay, Odyssey multi EQ, X32, and then it is a 9-channel amp, and it processes 11.2 channels, so 11 speakers, 2 subwoofers. 235 watts, I highly doubt that's per channel. If this was 235 watts per 9 channels, peak power at 235, there's no way this thing would cost $2,200. It would be more like $5,000. So that's always something that's kind of bugged me, is that the way they get these ratings, and all brands do this, unfortunately, all receiver brands, but they get their measurements in a shady way to make their receivers seem more powerful. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing is incredibly powerful and has more than enough amplification for to drive 9 speakers. But sites like, I think, Stereophile will do a review. I'm not sure if it's Stereophile or not, it doesn't matter. There's a place that will do a review and they'll actually properly measure the channel, and then they'll list it and they'll show you exactly what type of power output you get through just driving 1 channel, and then 2 channels, then 5 channels, 7 channels, 9 channels, etc. So if I had to guess, I'd say this thing's probably pushing, all 9 channels driven, I'd say probably 70 to maybe 90 watts per channel, fully driven. That's 20 hertz all the way up to 20,000 kilohertz. So yeah, just a little fun fact for you. Now let's take a look at the back. Okay, here's the back of the receiver, which it is definitely well stacked, as you would expect. Your 11 speaker terminals, even though it only has 9 amps built in. So if you want to use this as an 11-channel preamp, you're going to have to hook up an extra amplifier or 2 via the pre-out section, which is something I'm going to use because I have a 5-channel Rotel receiver, a 2-channel Rotel, and a 2-channel Parasound. So I have 9 channels of extra better amplification. And so for the extra channels that I want to amplify from this will probably be the Dolby Height, so the 4 Dolby Height speakers. So 11 channels of processing, which is one of the main reasons I bought this. Zone 2 and 3, which maybe I'll use in the future. Your 7-channel analog audio inputs. Phono, which is really cool that they started incorporating this again, as vinyl's making a huge comeback, has been for a while. And I do listen to records. I do have a Parasound phono preamp, which is considerably better, but it's really cool that they included that, and there's the ground for it. Here's your 12-volt triggers, which I will use to trigger my amplifiers I just mentioned. RS-232 for control, IR flasher, AM, FM, of course. 5 sets of stereo analog RCA inputs, really good. Component video inputs and outputs, composite video inputs and outputs, which, it's nice that they include them, but they'll never get used. remote control. You've got your 2 fiber optic inputs, 2 digital coax. Here's the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antenna right here and here. Power, of course. And then you've got 7 sets of HDMI, which are all 4K HDCP 2.2, which is great. And then you've got the Zone 2, Monitor 2, and the Monitor 1. So this is for your TV because it's got the audio return channel. And then if you have a second monitor or a projector, you'd use this. And then this is just for displaying to another room. I'll probably use both of these at some point. And yeah, that's the back.